Very good morning to everybody. It is I, the Warrior Junior. Tuesday morning. It's probably about 4:30 or so. And sometimes I say late evening. Sometimes I say early morning. It was funny when I went off the air. Last night's episode, last morning, knocked over a tea. The remainder of my tea, which was quite a significant amount of my chai spice tea, it's spilled everywhere on my Stainmaster carpet, my notepad. It looks like pretty much dried up, Happens, very rare. Actually, I think I thought the cup didn't fall over. I went to grab it or something and it tipped over. I wasn't paying attention. Before I get into the topic, I guess let me just think about some things I want to say. Went to the park around midnight, did my workout. A lot of ab work, I never really did a lot of core work. And it's hard, but I like it. The generic sit-up kind of thing. I'll do that sitting on a rail, actually. There's a 2-level railing where one of them I use for plank type push-ups. I like it because you can you can get out in front to where the bar, holding the bar, and kind of the bar is over your upper abdomen, lower. I said, well, what if I slip? Well, you know what? If you do, hopefully your core is strong enough. So, but I just don't think of that. I wear gloves and I got a pretty good, not really grip on the bar. I hold it on the outside so it's close to your palm, And these things go through my mind sometimes, but you gotta be willing to take the risk if you want to sit in that chair. See if you know where that's from. You can pause this if you don't know what that's from and think about it for a second. I'll tell you, it's Captain James T. Kirk, Star Trek Generations, when he told the captain of the Enterprise B, part of risk is sitting in that chair in the beginning, And he went down. And I do the same thing with ab work, where sit on this railing and I go back. Now my foot is on the ground. What I try to do is create this type of separation so with balance, and I'll do abs all different ways. There's a parallel bar extended where I'll get up and I'll stick my feet out. The rings that they have there, I'll hold them, I'll pull myself up, and as I'm coming up, stick my feet out. I watched a guy on YouTube. Holy shit. He was doing muscle ups. Holy shit. Well, you know what? I noticed because the rings were closer. So he was able to pull himself up as his feet were sticking out and then push down. And I guess if the rings were closer, I could do it. I could attempt it. But at the park, no. They're a good distance apart. The only thing, I do a couple things with them and various type of pull-ups where I like it. You can really isolate your biceps. The exercise I just mentioned, swing with one arm to the other, and then when you get to the end, what I like to try to do, hold it, as you turn around, and then go back the other way. I've done it once. It's hard. When you're a kid, you don't even think about these things, but you get older, in your body, it's many people I've ever heard, I used to be able to. One guy was with his kid, he goes, I used to be able to do the Iron Cross, and I went like this, I gave him one of those, and he goes, it's a lot of practice, and I was like, really? And he goes, yep. So you never know what people did in their lives or what can do or they did. It must be kind of hard. I think about that as I get older, and I see these, I used to. Can't stop time, that's for sure, but most people, they just let go of so many things. Fitness should be a staple and a priority of just good overall health, man. Keeping yourself in good condition, it should be more of a priority. But, I live in this area, this West Hollywood, where the focus is more on frills, like the Pacific Design Center, all these places around, it's more of, how your house looks, and car you drive and how perfect your hair is or what you're wearing. It's now they have some gyms and stuff, but they're not warrior type facilities, if I can say that. And that's going to lead me into my topic. You know, I I can look at somebody and I already said this before. I can look at and I can tell you if you're on gear, how long you've been around. I can what you know, what you don't know. I'm not God. I don't know everything, but when it comes to fitness, in a way, I am because I am well, I am what I am. Um, I've been around this so long that I can size you up fairly quickly. And what I mean by that, they look at these women that are IFBB pros that are 25 years old, with thick quads and incredible arms. That ain't from fucking working out. They're doing these exercises that look cute and everything like that. That's from taking. They're taking fucking, or they're shooting. They're on heavy gear, heavy, strong fucking shit. Now, I've never been on. I never tried it. I never did. Hence the word steroids. So I never did any of that shit. Now, it's funny because, there's a lot of shit over the counter that uses similar names, but similar name is not the same. There's an immense difference between Anavar, that's what was it, oxandrolone? That's a class. It's a 17 real steroid that you got to get a prescription from a doctor, or the shit by the same name, manufactured by high tech pharmaceuticals. I can show it to you. I've got it here. I've bought a couple of HTP products, and I like them because of the easy to. I have trouble with pills. Dissolving horse pills and shit. I remember I had this beef amino acids in these pills, and they were like horse pills, and they wouldn't dissolve. And I tried to bring it back to the store. They wouldn't even give me nothing, store credit or nothing, assholes. So the last time I ever shopped, at the place, they said, "Well, it's COVID." You assholes. You guys should offer me store credit or something. You know, anyway, that's that. But the stuff by HTP, high tech pharmaceuticals, they make, they call it Dianabol. They call it's not real Dianabol. It ain't fucking real Anavar. And it's sure selling real Superdrol, So I got it. I tried it. I have it here. And the only thing, I've tried SARMs, various SARMs, along with stuff that, it's one discontinued company that was and androstenedione, whatever. And what I notice is, I break out over my body. And I said, okay, well, but that's a side effect, but you're getting the result off of it. I mean, here, you be the judge. I'm not even pumped up or anything, but, I've always had like, decent lat separation, from the various types of exercises. I don't have a huge, I'm not, don't have huge biceps or anything like that. People say, oh, you got big arms. I don't. I've always had kind of decent shoulders from all the push-ups that I've done over the years, and some like traps I've never really had. Like, see these guys with these monster fucking separations in their traps, and I for the most part that's from taking. You just get this blown up kind of look. Now this is two dimensions, so like it's kind of hard. To me, I'm looking at myself and say I look kind of small. Like in my thing. I'm about 185. Um, I do a shitload of leg work. I have pretty a decent size quads for my size for 185. I'm very solid, as you can see. My abs, like I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm no stage competitive bodybuilder or anything like that, but and nor do I want to be. Um, these people, they're walking like you got to be like an anatomy chart, on the stage with a shitload of muscle, and how can that be healthy? So, I look at it like that. You got to draw the line somewhere, and it's fun to watch or whatever, and to support whatever. But it's like ridiculous, and the stuff that they take is comparing little league to major leagues. It really is. Um, so that's what I got to say about that. It gives me something to focus on. I admit that one of my drives was like to see these wrestlers. I wanted to be like them. I want to be in the business, and let's say they're all on something. You're never gonna be if you're not. And even if I was, again, I'm too old. I have no connections in the business. When I talked about that wrestling school, and it just seems like you know, Keish doesn't come off as a guy trying to take your money from you, but what are you going to get off of it if you doesn't go anywhere? It's not like me going for my doctorate degree where you earn it, and if it doesn't lead to at least it's a personal accomplishment. I can see at least getting something, and plus, it's like I get like an award to go to school, so it's like it's not a lot, but it's enough to help me, pay off some credit card bills, get out of the hole a little bit. But it's not life changing money by any means. My friend Ruben came back from Ohio yesterday, and I stopped by, I talked to him, and it was really nice. I was happy that he came back. He was there for his dad's funeral, and I really didn't. It was, we talked about the going there, whatever, but that's not what I'm going to really discuss here. So anyway, about me, about the Warrior. What is this? What is Warrior Junior? What is he? What is he? Well, you can go back to my earliest episodes and see really the psychoness of the way that I was. Um, huh, lemon ginger tea. I took this other um, supplement by High Tech Pharmaceuticals. It's called Equabalin. Um, I took one of those. Just I don't know if this shit works. It's like I paid like a place out in the valley called Yoked. They have everything there. And I usually buy online, but I figured out, it's kind of good to go to the place and look at. They had. I was surprised. They had a full line of everything there. That's like God, it was like $120, $130 for these two uh, Super Draw, and I looked at them all, and I said, all right, let me try this one and this one. And so I've been on that for like a month. Now my eating hasn't been perfect. My sleeping and my hours have been off. I always say I grow better during the day when I'm up, and then go to bed early, and I'm eating consistently throughout the day, and I'm training. I looked at my training logs, because of that damn wrestling school shit. All of it has thrown me off completely. I know I'm still in the 180s, but I'm not like gaining, a lot. I'm not body really. It's I would say a little bit of something I got, but no immense gains or anything. I make sure I invest. I go to Trader Joe's in the market, buy good quality shit. I'm pretty consistent with that. Um, not really supposed to wait till you get too hungry to eat. You should be eating consistently throughout the day, and then you're training. This and that. It's a lot when you're putting in a lot of effort to something when there's nothing coming back. Like, you think women really care? You're walking around in great shape. So I watched this thing with Johnny Burba. And he's in England or wherever, Kensington. I don't know. It's like Great Britain or whatever. I don't know really anything about that. I just don't really care for that type of lifestyle. It's pompous, kind of arrogant, nose up. It's the thing. It's not me. I don't. But I like him because I relate with that guy a lot. He's kind of like me. He doesn't have a social circle. He's trying to meet women. He's by himself, and he's out there on the streets. It's very, very, very difficult. I wrote like some comments reaching out to him, telling him how much I admire his efforts, trying, and big kudos to him because it's very, very difficult to deal with public scrutiny, people looking at you like you're a creep or a weirdo. Nobody understands. If you're a normal guy, it's very difficult. I don't go to bars really anymore. I don't drink. A lot of these places are very cliquish with the same fucking people, same time, and they're not very welcoming. Or these guys want to get to know you. They're not going to help you to meet women because they want it themselves. I've seen it all. I've been around 25 years of the bar scene. I know it fucking all. It's all about the same. And so it's a very difficult thing. You can't go here. You can't do this. You're not going to meet them here. You're not going to meet them there. So it's a very frustrating, cyclical cycle of just not getting. I mean, God, like I'm sorry. It's just I just know what I've been through in my life trying, and every time I saw a woman, it was always no, or like they're with their friends, or they just can't, or they won't call. I gave them my card, they never called. They gave me the number, they wouldn't answer. I mean, that's a million and one stories, and absolutely nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, in my delusional mind, like I see this thing. Oh, J Lo was at the Craigs. It's like, nah, I've been there before. I'm thinking, oh, like what if I could pitch my script, my dance movie, to stuff. You can just forget it. Look. I tried to reach out to a production office a couple of years ago. It was all no, they didn't even email me back. Wouldn't even listen to it. So, the problem is that all of these powerful people, you think that you might be able to hit them on a nerve. They relate with you. It's just all the same. No, 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 no. They only relate to a certain specific type. It's like there's this homeless woman that I see all the time that when I'm working out, she's always at the park. She don't bother anybody or anything like that. And I guess that's the way that these super rich people would look at me. They look at me like I'm a bum or something. They give them a couple dollars. I was gonna try to give that homeless woman a couple bucks, but it's like she didn't need it. Like she wouldn't even look. People care and people give, but are they? Do they? Do they really? I don't know, and I don't care. It's all I can tell you is about my life experience, almost a half a century here on this planet, what I've seen, what I've done, what I've known, um, and then I really thought, the unexpected, like the meeting, seeing an incredible woman. Go back a couple episodes if you want to hear about it. I'm not going to talk about her anymore because she never reached out to me, and it doesn't matter at this point. Um, Kind of like a dinosaur extinction level event, like instead of a miracle happening, it was a disaster, like just, and that's what I feel like, I feel like you can try, like Lincoln Park, you could try so hard, but in the end, it just doesn't matter. And I know it sounds really put down, depressing kind of thing, but man, let me just tell you, I live in an area where there's a lot of gays. They're all they walk with their dogs, the same kind of thing, or they're, they're very, and most of these women, I couldn't get my dick hard for them anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's like, then the ones I see, they're always with somebody. I just don't want to get into it, like into a confrontation kind of thing. These guys are very protective. They might not act like it, but they are. They're generally a lot taller than me. That's why these women choose them. It's always the same old story all over again. I got that from Q, Star Trek Next Generation. The same old story all over again. An encounter at Farpoint, if you know your Star Trek, where he first appears, and then he becomes like, he shows your rapid progress in the beginning, and then he goes from you know, the Columbus to the 1950s, 1940 U.S. Army, or he's a Marine Corps dress, and then he goes into the future of like, you know what he says, where the police are controlled by drugs. You know, military is controlled. He's a little better, you know, like it's funny, you know, like the way he does it, and the outfit. So he goes this whole story all over again, you know. John DeLance, he's good. He's good. I know I'm going off on a subject, but off topic, but it's okay. Um, I mentioned that episode to Ruben. I was hoping you'd watch it because it's really good. That encounter at Farpoint. Gene Roddenberry was still alive at the time. Isn't it amazing that people get a shot? He was like a cop, and then he didn't want to be, and he wrote this serial. He wrote. Isn't it amazing that some people get a chance in life? Like they make their own chance. Bullshit. Bullshit. If you don't network with somebody that could take your shit to the next level, you're not producing it yourself, son. It doesn't work that way. You have to have connections. You have to have people that you know. It doesn't matter. There's people that unless you yourself matter though. You know, in the '60s, he didn't film it himself. He did it through Paramount. You know, like it's so. I don't know exactly how he got somebody to read it, and it doesn't matter. That's not what this is about. You know. So again, I know I got way off this, but you know, Warrior Junior, me, it's a combination of things. What am I exactly? What is this? What is the point of this? The point of this channel is to create a platform for me to outline the challenges, the struggles, and the difficulties of not only me meeting women, me going after like achieving dreams, becoming what I consider successful, you know, just everything to live an abundant, beautiful life. And I'm not crying. This is not like for me to cry, bitch, complain, and jump up and down here. That doesn't create so. The name is taken, you know, the Ultimate Warrior. I really, really liked that guy. I felt like, you know, I listened to many of his lectures, the way the guy talked, the way the guy thought. It was like a mirror of it's like being a real man, you know, like, and what is a warrior? You know, he changed his name to Warrior, and it's like, I'm not going to change my name to Warrior Junior, but he talks about this. He's like, you know, warrior is somebody that fights in a war, you know, like has battled. Now, you don't have to go out there and beat people up. That's not what this is about. But a warrior is a conqueror, somebody that goes out there and after what he wants, and it's generally very, very hard uphill battle. The conquest of the body is incredibly difficult. You know, it's something that goes along with everything. It's something that you know, the body needs constant maintenance, good fuel, good rest. Um, I do at the park. I do so many calisthenic type exercises, and then at the gym, lately it's been mostly leg work. But I've done a shitload of upper body pushing. You know, like every exercise you can name, every compound exercise. I've never neglected anything, and I've done this on and off for years and years and years, if not decades now, decades, more than 2 decades. And you know, it's just part of it. You know, it's supposed to give you confidence, supposed to feel like you're strong. If you're a man, and you know, you need that high level of testosterone. You know, and it's they say in Jewish, in Yiddish, it's a bishin echarpa, and that means like a crying shame. That like, you know, I feel like I could really satisfy a woman. You know, like I could really make you know, I don't know what they want. You know, like, and it's like I really could give them a good, give me a chance, like if an attractive woman would say, hey, I'd like to get to know you, and everything. And I said, boy, I could really make you feel good. Like I'm not being arrogant or anything, but this is a big shame that our society makes it so difficult, to connect, where they're so focused on their looks, how they appear, and they're buying inanimate objects. Sorry, like pets, and going shopping with their girlfriends, where they're busy talking to them. They're on the phone. They're busy. I watched this where they're Johnny Burber's walking in, and these three girls, they got their shopping bag, they're all talking to each other, and didn't matter. You're not going to get in there. Like they're there, they're protecting their. It just doesn't make sense. Like, is that what we're on this planet for? For you to marry your girlfriends? Now I hang out with my friend Ruben, but only in his apartment, and we talk about relative things. And then when I'm not there, man, my mind is open to meet women. I am like, wherever I go, I am like paying attention constantly to everything that could be something good. And they're not. You know what it is? And these guys, they're paying attention to me, like when I try, and it's like, I don't know why. Like they're I used to stand outside nightclubs. That was because, some of these guys, they would, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, well, mind your own fucking business. I'm doing whatever I want. The public sidewalk, and that's like, I would get into these combative situations with some, because they have no rahmunis, they have no sympathy for a guy trying to, meet, talk to some of these women, get them away from this toxic, loud, garbage music, places. That's the problem. It's like I have not been able to really hone in and find good places. These high-end restaurants, I'm not into that kind of stuff, and I don't drink, so going to the bars or these bars, it makes it very, very difficult. Coffee place, I don't even like coffee. I'm not gonna go sit like a clown when a hoping woman walks in by herself. That's so needy and desperate. I don't got time for that anyway. You're supposed to meet somebody through your travels, through your life, the universe to connect you through common interests. And I can't believe all my years of going these places, just never happened. I've tried so many times, and it's always been the same old story all over again, Because women that are dancers are going for dudes with money. They ain't going for guys that are dancers that are broke, okay? Generally, for the most part. My ex-girlfriend, she just was too pompous for me. She was too arrogant, and she thought she was a lot hotter than she was. I don't like women like that come off very jealous and conceited. That shows their confidence issues, their lack of confidence. If I'm looking for it, that doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean fucking. It doesn't mean nothing. And I already talked about in the last episode why she wrote the problem. You got to get the business out of the way after a while, and then you can concentrate on building a relationship. You can't fucking develop something when you've got these hidden coy issues, like because you're not bringing everything out into the light. You've got to bring out and be upfront and straight after a while and honest about things. And I did. I told her what my demands were. I call them that. I mean, I know it sounds kind of hard, but look, man, if you're rich, you got to kick down. You want my time and you want everything. That's the way it is. You're not going to leave me out there in the street when you get mad one day because you're having hot flashes and I have nothing. My mom, she's just too stupid. She didn't know, or she doesn't understand that he's dying. My mom marries him, and then he dies, and then leaves a house, and the kids come and take it. My mom got nothing, zero. Okay, I'm gonna. I even told that to my ex. I said, I'm not gonna fucking when I was with her. I'm not gonna make the same mistake my mom did, sweetheart. You want me? You gotta just. And it's not that I didn't ask for. She makes it sound like a lot, but it's $5 million. you know, and you buy a house, you're not kicking me to the curb with nothing. That's why you got to, or make sure you out, just lay that shit out and get it out of the way so you can focus on enjoying life together. It doesn't work that way. It should. Maybe the divorce rate wouldn't be 66% in Southern California if people weren't so coy, you know, or 50% across the country. 50%, nearly 50%. I'm telling you, get the crap out of the way, all of it, all of it. And then if you're still together, oh my God, you know, enjoy life then. But do not be coy and hide, you know, your true intentions or what you want. You know, you've got to step with that. She's gonna leave me, then so be it. It's not the right person for you then. You've got to get that crap out of the way for your own safety and security. You know, you've got to, where it is. Now, maybe you got your own money, like that's not the issue, but there's something else. There's always something. With me, it was more about the security and financial aspect needed just to be taken care of. And I asked for a fucking little watch. Okay, well, 2,000. Woo! Some people have, you know, diamond rings. They cost more than that. That's for a fucking watch. Enough about that. Okay, so back to why I started this Warrior Junior. The point of it is that I believe that the social conditioning is a ruse. You have to obey the laws. You know, you always say, "Oh, report suspicious behavior." Hey, you know what? Anything can be suspicious. You're not breaking the law, then guess what? You got to be willing to get like good at something. You have to like embarrass yourself. Let me give you an example. Like I've been dancing for like almost 30 years, right? When I first started, there was a nightclub called the Roxbury on Sunset. This is in like the early 90s, early to mid 90s, or 92, 93. And they used to have these dance contests in there. Now I just started, okay? And I would go, and they would have on Tuesday nights, a lot of these OGs would show up. There were masters from the 80s, young, really talented poppers, lockers, boogaloo. They're fucking really, really good. And I just had a passion for this, but I wasn't good yet. And they would bring in Crescendo and announce, and you know, street dance name. And I'll never, you know, I would go up there, and these people in the audience, they just would not, they wouldn't give me a chance. They didn't like me. And it was really hard. I was getting clowned by like Air Force crew, like a lot of fucking really good, dope poppers, you know, ticker, like just really, I will never forget it. I was, you know, not welcomed in, but I stayed with it. You like make fun of me, everything. I stayed with it week after week, month after month, year after year. And I got better, and I kept getting better. Then all of a sudden, people like would hear about me. Oh, you're so and so. And then I got featured as a semi-finalist I was on Soul Train. I was on a competition dance shows. I go out to a nightclub. I start getting down. You know, people are like, "Oh shit!" And I go, "Yeah." You know, I'm not brand new here. People try to battle me, even crews. I could hold my own against it. How'd you learn how to being embarrassed from fucking the school of hard knocks, not a fucking little dance class? And that's what these people, they you know, they put them in these dance classes thinking you're going to learn how to get down, really bust in that, and you're not. No, you got to be willing to get embarrassed. And that's how I came up. I came up from like this really, like Eminem, very accurate. I mean, he was clowned. Remember in the beginning? The crowd, they were like, it's like same thing, exact same thing. I did it in dance. He did it in rapping, but rapping was more of a future because there's something to market. There's album sales back then and everything. Dancing, there's really nothing. There's really nothing. I mean, you could be in some movies and stuff, Step Up 4 or whatever, you know, but so what? It's not, you know, it's if you get lucky. commercials of Freddie Run Berry. Probably, he did What's Happened. I met him in the past. So the point I was gonna make is about embarrassment. I would go to fucking these nightclubs and not just dancing, but bars and restaurants and stuff and trying to do pickup. And I didn't care if a guy was with somebody. I tried to hit on the girl anyway. Embarrassment, like I remember I went to this thing in Orange County, and this guy walked by with a pretty hot chick. Now I was there. There was a big dancing on the patio. They just happened to walk by, and I tried to hit on her as he walked by. He was in shock. I'll never forget that. He stops like 25 feet from me. He turns around and looks at me. And then he goes, "Are you fucking out of your mind?" He goes to me. And I go, "Last time I checked, there's no law that says I can't talk to women." And then he went into his thing and he pulled out a badge. He goes, "I could fucking have you arrested right now." Go for what? For talking to women? You're harassing. And I go, "No, I don't know if you're together. I'm trying." So like, you see, look, people will try to now, like, if you now, I don't recommend you go up and everybody, but if I don't try, I don't know. About this earlier on this channel about cracking through that thick ice of shy, worry, fear, embarrassment, ridicule, everything. You have to be willing to do anything and everything to try to change who you are in order to get what you want. Now, again, let's look at this subjectively. He's with her. Let's say they're even fucking married. I already told you the divorce rate. What does that mean? That means there's a 2/3 chance they're not going to be together. 2/3. I'm just being a little early. Look what happened to my uncle. He had a family friend. I already told, listen to last episode. Everything leads to something. Okay? Women leave guys all the time for different reasons. There's no law that says I can't. Now, if you get you kicked out of a lot of places, you go to a restaurant, whatever, and you just go up to a guy sitting with a woman, and then they're going to say, get the fuck out of here. I don't recommend you going around getting kicked out of places. There's ways, and I don't recommend really you going up and hitting on girls that are with other guys. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that you should challenge your conventional thinking, because it's so difficult. If you have insecurities, if you're worried, if you have fear, better to do something a little over the top, briefly. That way you can get it in your mind that it's not, well, then when a woman's by herself, or she might be with a gay guy, then it's not that difficult. It's like 99.9% of guys won't do it. They won't do it because, well, again, this doesn't apply to 99.9% of guys, because there's relatively less guys like me and Johnny Burba and Jeffy. I don't know if Owen applies to that anymore. He's got money. He gets hot chicks. But I'm talking about lone wolves. Matt Cross. Guys that they get it. They understand all this. To be by yourself, wanting to get laid, or have a girlfriend or relate, all coincides with a woman. What your intentions are after, most of it involves getting laid. I'm open to relationship, love. Open to everything, and so I think like every situation is different. You have to play them according to how you feel. Like the girl that I met at the wrestling place, I felt like she'd be a perfect companion. Like a real. She was just so perfect in every way for me. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't matter. Okay? I didn't care if she's 20 and I'm 48. I don't care. Women have to grow up so much earlier than men. Generally, the looks fade away a lot faster. So, in a way, there's no problem with that. 20 look, I'm 48. No problem. 20 to 48, none. Now, if I was 60 to 20, that's a little, you're looking at something a little nuts. But for me, in my 40s, now I wish she was a little bit older. Maybe she is. I don't know. I think she's 20, a bit older than that. And of course, the 18 they have to be. If they're not, then forget it. You got to be an adult, man. Come on. That goes without saying. And, but 18 is, still, it's an adult. It's a very young adult. I would feel at that, at 18, that's a little young, but I'm looking for me, 25 on up is good. 30 is not even a question about how perfect that is. And even older, I would even go for women a little older than me. Look at JLo, 52. She's a rare anomaly, though. It's this odd, talking about a woman worth $100 million. There's one on the planet. That's it. I look around for women that are 52 that look like that all the time. I've never seen one. Okay, yeah, it exists. But how many women have that kind of money? Money is the trap. Like it's really an important thing. It's so nice, dude. You understand? I'm used to taking public transportation, seeing these fucking people on there, like they're like the I would say the Walking Dead. They're the commuter dead is what they are. I see these people like and I say, man, I just, the only reason I have to take public transportation is to get to some of these places that are very far away. Link is, and the rails are cool, but the bus is like, it's like it's so crowded, and you start to think, why am I here? Like, when the bus sometimes goes to the area parts of Los Angeles, it's like you're in Mexico or something. Like in Tijuana, it's like ridiculous. Not to belittle Hispanic people because I love Hispanic women, but it just seems that you're not going to meet very familia. They have their thing. I used to try to go to these bars where there was a lot of Latino people there. The Hasids, the Jews, they're very. I'm Jewish, it's not against them, but they're very, to themselves kind of thing. And if you're not of their ilk, you're not. They stay in their little pocket area, and I think it's like a cult in a way, that Orthodox thing. It's nonsense. It's not how you live. I like to go out dancing all the time. These people, it's not even worth mentioning. I went to a Jewish school for 1 year. Pushed on me really hard. I didn't relate with them. I felt it's too religious, and it's hokey. It's hokey, if you ask me. And you do the hokey pokey, and you turn yourself around, and that's what it's all about. Dicking your ass, Anyway, so that's what Warrior Junior is. It's a guy that's a little different than most other people. He tries to build the best version of himself physically, financially, and educationally. Like me getting my doctorate degree. I mean, it's not just going to school. It's learning about everything, whatever. But it's building the best version of yourself. And money, the financial, that's credit, that's everything. It's cash you have, but it's a little bit of everything. Trying to build a business, or building your credit, and all the facets, building get you out of the poorhouse, pun intended. The physical thing seems the easiest for me because I've been doing it the longest. Financial thing, I've made catastrophic errors. I've lost 50 grand, and it might not sound like a lot to you, but it's a lot to me. And I just really tried to snowball it fairly quickly, and it just, all went against me. So, it's recovery to try to build my credit back, which I was like also 50 grand in the credit card hole, and I'm not too far from getting out of that. So almost 2 years, but that's that's the way I do it. That's the way I believe. It's fucked up when you pay back all these credit card people and they cancel you. That was so fucked. I would like PayPal 4 grand. I paid them back and then they canceled my line. Fuck. deal on, let's say, Hank Aaron card. That's great. And it's like, okay, well, this guy, make offer. And it's like, all right, well, this card's probably worth like $3,000. So let me offer him 1,800 and see. And then you go, nah. And sometimes guys would counter, they come back with 2,500. And you go, okay, there's a little room there. And what about like 1,900? The guy goes like 2,250. Card's worth $3,000. Is that 2,250 now? I said, well, meet in the middle at 2,100 cash, done deal. 2,100, and he goes, okay. So I use a credit card to get the fucking to pay for the baseball card. I get the card, 2,100, worth $3,000, and now I could turn it. Let's say I'll put it back on eBay. 10% of 3,000 is 2,700. It's a $650 profit on a $2,100 investment fairly quickly. That's not bad. But to flip cards, and without that credit, without that power, without a decent amount of line, then you have to deal in cheaper cards. Cheaper cards, less room for profit. Like more expensive cards, $10,000 cards, there's more room, and they're not as hard to sell. People got plenty of fucking money to buy high-end good shit. I know, because I look at sales and I look at everything and I look at what sells. So, that's kind of the goal, is to get me back to where I can buy this decent stuff and turn some profit, like a legitimate business. My problem was I was trying to make it in the stock market relatively fast, and it bit me in the ass. What else? So Warrior Junior, like I already talked about, lots of finances. Educationally, I've talked about school already. Fitness, I've talked about that. Women goes, that's the most difficult because it's something that's beyond your control. You can't make a woman want to fuck you. It's very difficult, society, especially when they're protected with guys, they're busy on the phone or whatever, for you to go up there and try to start a honest conversation without looking being creepy. For all the time in the world to talk to you, if any woman's got any type of currency, it's always the same fucking story. Like I've never gotten what I call a miracle, where I just a woman that I found just very attractive, that just was like normal, like would want to know about you, and if you were okay, like a good guy, they would sleep with you, like that's. I know it sounds like, but it's normal, and I just really very, very rarely have gotten that in my entire life. Very rarely. I can tell you, a handful, nothing. Barely nothing in my whole life. In a whole fucking life. Can you believe that? Out of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of nights of going out and doing everything. It's that difficult for me. Because guys like Johnny Gerber, whatever, like these guys, I think they do volume. So much volume, because that's the only. If you're being picky, one here, one there, it's like you're not going to get nothing, because it's like, unless you're really something spectacular, kind of bald guy, I'm nothing special. And, I always say I'm not good looking because women don't look. So, I hold the contention of that based on life experience. Gays don't count. That doesn't help me. I like looking for women. So they're irrelevant. They can't help me. Ironically, they know tons of women, and they have never implied or tried to help me get my needs met as a man. So they are irrelevant people, in my opinion. I don't hate them, but I hold neutrality toward them, where they can't help me, I can't help you. Good luck to you. Don't wish anything bad, any ill will on, but it's like the same thing. If you can't help me where I need to get to go, then what good are you? It's just a brutal truth. And the same thing with anything. And, I go to the gym all the time. It's the same fucking story all over again. Same thing. Look, how many guys, they all want to get, they're not, it really is like a cold war in a way about, trying to get what you want. And I just, sick of fighting, and I just gave up this ridiculous quest to try to get what I want, like, what a shame, Let's go through it here. Because I chased dumb passions in my life. I didn't do like I didn't become an eye surgeon. I didn't become anything that holds any water. I chased dumb dreams. I chased stupid fucking dreams my whole life. There's a big price to pay for that. Peace of mind and non-successful. I didn't make any money, so I don't know what the trade-off is. I don't know. If I would have became a lawyer when I was young, I would have met a woman that way, but I'm not that. I'm me. I'm only me, and that's all I can be. I gotta be me. I can't be like you. I gotta be me. There's always a price to pay. Oh, freedom there, freedom. You got plenty of freedom, but no money to show for it, nothing, you make it. But I hold the contention that this warrior mentality is the correct mentality of being a real man, holding your ground, not being a bully, not doing what people tell you to do. That doesn't mean anything. Seem attracted to and trying to make a move, which is very hard at times. I mean, in the gym, I've seen women I'm attracted to, and I have a retribution of getting kicked out or a fallback or a backlash or something. I just have very little success over my lifetime with this. It's not it's so little success that just makes it so difficult. Imagine like a woman, they can get whenever they want. Like you would think, like a woman might like you. Why don't you? What they say, all these women have power now. Power. They want to use some of that goddamn fucking power to come up and tell a guy they like them. If they're interested, but they don't. They just make it harder for you. They put themselves high up on this pedestal, and make it something so natural, so impossible. I don't know. I've seen these women all around. They don't look like nothing to me. How the fuck do they get? It's like, because there's a sucker. There's plenty of suckers out there. There's guys giving everything, and they look like nothing. I mean, these women, them, I don't get it. I really don't. I see on average, 1 to 2 women a day. Okay, that's it. That's it. Very rarely do I see more, and it's usually one. That's it. Every day at least. But there's not, So I'm saying, God, how do all these women, if I have good taste, how the fuck are they getting? I don't know. I really sincerely don't know. This is like a brutal episode, but this is more of the Warrior Junior honesty with you. Like, now again, I have my type. I have taste, that I'm very attracted to. There's women that I just like to fuck. There's women that I would work with, and it just seems like I get nothing. It's just a real shame, to go get your needs met as a man. It's like it's a beach in a heart, and it agitates me a lot sometimes. It really does, because it's a natural thing. And then these people tell you don't watch porn, no fap, no fap. I said, so okay, fine. So I would just go out there and hope I meet women, and I never do anyway. So it just gets me really agitated, after a while. Because in a way, the porn, it's a relief. You watch and at least you get rid of it, and you're like, all right, this is fine. I'm okay now. It seems like the sex thing, like if you're a real man, you got testosterone. Your dick gets hard. You want to come. That's what a real man is. And if women won't give it to you, what other outlets do you have? You can go to massage parlors. I've done that before. I don't know what other things you can do. Pay like it's escort services, but that can drain you financially really quickly. Remember that movie Any Given Sunday? Paying $1,500 every fucking pop. It's like Jesus. So very difficult thing. Like if you're a real man, you need that from a woman, and they don't give it to you. Like I don't know what to say. Like it bothers me a lot because it's a real important thing that is kept away. Like I don't know. I don't know. I think, anyway, that's all I gotta say about that for now. Look, I covered basically everything. I told you why, I'm Warrior Junior. Like I'm not far off. I think I'm being real and honest. I think the sex thing, the media thing, they twist this thing is what's supposed to be natural between two people. They make it, in Los Angeles, this thing that's impossible to get. These people all showing off, they're rich, their cars and stuff like that. Zero value dancing. Women don't really, they say they care about that. It don't mean fucking nothing. You're in good shape. That's only a big deal to the fags. I'm sorry to say that, but to the gays, that's what matters. It's not like women really care about all the effort, the time and effort and energy I put into it. If you're not financially successful, you don't really shine here. If you're not famous in Hollywood, you're not going to stand out. Women are just going to say goodbye in a nice way. There's this one guy, he summed it up. He said, "Women are brutal here." He's pretty much he's accurate. He's accurate on that. They might not come off that way, but they design you like. I remember how many times I tried to talk to women, and they just won't. They're not receptive. They're not receptive at all. Anyway, I don't know what to say. I think I'm pretty accurate to this topic, this issue. I really feel I am. And I'm not alone. I know a lot of dudes that don't get. I know a lot of dudes that don't get. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Anyway. That is not always pretty, but it's reality. So anyway, that's all for now. Warrior Junior thought he'd give you his hour, his sense worth of what I think, and till next time, just try to keep your head up, literally, and do not allow all this negativity and this ignoring crush your spirit, mind. I mean, that's what it feels like to me. I've never had a miracle happen, really. It's been close a couple times, but close doesn't mean anything, Either a woman, you have an incredible experience with women, or you don't.